So I am tired of hearing hoe being referred to as whores. Like people say they're 304 and they're a whore. I got to break down this shit because we can't have hoes thinking they're whores and whores thinking they're 304s. This is not the same thing. It doesn't make sense to no goddamn body. Let me break it down to you on the minute level. You feel me? To the smallest iota. So, a hoe is somebody who wants attention. Somebody who wants to attract and be recognized for their looks, for their body, and they want to be at a top of a social order. You know what I mean? As far as, I'm a bad bitch. You're just a hoe. Now, a whore is a profession. A whore is professional. A whore is about obtaining resources, whether that be money, cars, clothes, purses, houses, apartments, vacations, whatever, you name it. A whore is taking or accepting things given for her services as a whore. So let me give you a quick different stroke, right? So a hoe and a whore could be working at the strip club together. A hoe is working at the strip club because a friend works at a strip club, or she was told that you could work at the strip club and meet people and see things, and it's a fun time. You can get your bills paid, blah, 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 XYZ, right? Where the whore is going to the strip club to make money exclusively, right? She's not going to want to be seen. She's not going to want to get in some kind of pecking order of who is the prettiest here, who is doing what, and blah, blah, blah. No, the whore is saying, I'm here to make money. I'm here to make all the money I can make. And if that involves me doing XYZ, then I'm going to do XYZ. So the hoe and the whore working at the strip club. The hoe thinks, all right, I got a cute outfit on. I'm a bad bitch. I'm going to do my stage time, and it is what it is. Most of the time, I'm just going to sit over on the sideline, drink my drinks. Hopefully, I get something for free, and I'm going to leave. The whore is going to go work the room, talk to every John, Dickens, and Harry, and put hands on people, grab dangalangs, and rub her ass on people. Like, she's going to do all the things to entice and, seduce, what have you, for her goals. So a whore might go into a strip club like, I need to make $1,000 every day. A hoe gonna go into a strip club like, well, I make what I make. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. You know what I mean? So a whore's gonna say, all right, let me see what I can get out of this one. Let me see what I can get out of this one. Let me see what I can get out of this one. I got my regulars, and then I'm looking for all the new ones. A hoe is getting mad at the whore because she's talking to her regulars. She's trying to eat off of every tree. But that's what a whore's going to do. She's there to get paid. She's there to grab resources, right? So, outside of the strip club, you got on the internet. a hoe and a whore. A hoe is going to have an Instagram, maybe an OnlyFans. A whore is going to have an Instagram, TikTok, X, or Twitter as it used to be, as well as what is it? Fansly, any other pay content that you can really, get on that's notable, right? So a whore's going to do her research and get to the bag online. So the whore is going to make some content, and based on the content, she's going to keep creating content, as well as push these content throughout her internet streams, right? Mostly for the paid, a little bit for the Instagram, and maybe just starters and segues for the Instagram to push over to the paid content, the paywall, right? Push them all the way over to the paywall. The hoe is going to do maybe 20 to 30 on the paid content side, and then pretty much exclusively work on her Instagram, right? And I say work in the broadest of senses, right? Because she's not really working. She's getting the likes and hearts, right? Maybe new followers, maybe not. But the hoe is really looking to be more famous than wealthy or financially stable, right? So she's thinking, I need my numbers up, and once I get my numbers, I can do something else, blah, blah, blah. Is what the hoe's thinking, right? But the hoe doesn't have the work ethic. The hoe just wants to present herself in the greatest light and really have people fawning over her, men fawning over her, whatever. Where the hoe is actually putting in the work, because the whore is a professional, because whoring is a profession, right? Where the hoe is just it's just an attention hoe, right? So you go to a hoe page, she might be showing and showcasing everything under the sun: camel's toes, moose knuckles, nipple rings, all type of shit, right? She might have some revealing something or another and don't have no paywall, right? She's just, I like the likes. Or the whore is like, I'm gonna give you a little bit, but I'm gonna push you over here. I'm gonna push you over here. Now, let's talk about relationships. A hoe and a whore are going to have two totally different relationships. A hoe is going to have a relationship with her girlfriends, as far as she might be the prettiest out of the group. She might be she might have more male relationships, as far as intimate relationships, or social circles, right? So group of male friends over here, group of male friends over there. She's getting all of this attention from both sides. And also she goes out with her girlfriends, and she is the cream of the crop when it comes to her girlfriend circle, right? So that's the hoe spotlight. The whore is most likely going to have exclusively women friends or other whore friends, right? Now, the whore friends are like coworkers. This is when you come to a stable scenario. When you come to, you know what I mean, a madam scenario. Whores are going to circle together. They're going to share trade secrets. They're going to talk about how to get this money, right? So they're co-workers as well as friends. Or even if they're not friends, they're still co-workers who intermingle. And for the most part, they're respectful of each other and they don't really step on each other's toes, right? The other hand, the hoe, her friends are more volatile. They're more emotionally reactive. They're more conditional upon, you know, the dynamic of the friend group. But the whores, they're like, bitch, get your money. Hey, I got another trick for you. I just dealt with him. He said he wanted you, blah, 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 XYZ. Let's pay for the next night of this room. Let's work together. Let's form a union type shit, right? Where the hoe's not doing that. The hoe and her friends are not doing that. You know, they might work together. They might work separately as far as what they do for income, as well as how they, you know, mingle amongst each other. So it might be all in the same circle, but it's always cliquey. You know what I mean? And the whores might be cliquey too, because this is an underlying thing with women as far as cliques are concerned. Men as well, but women especially. So they have their cliques, right? But the whores are going to be click, and then they'll also have this chain around them all, right? The one ring to rule them all, right? That pimp ring shit. Now, a hoe, you can't turn into a housewife. But a whore can be a wife. A whore is a wife. These are the same things. Because a whore is a profession. A wife, if she's a real wife, handles business. So when you talk about give my money and help and watch it multiply, you're giving your money to a whore, and she's multiplying your money because she's taking care of business. That's why a pimp pimps, because whores bring him money. His money is multiplying because of his whores. So you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, but you can transition a whore into a wife, taking care of her necessities and giving her some of her wants as well, right? So needs and wants taken care of, stability, blah, blah, blah. The whore will turn into the housewife. The whore will start working for you instead of working for herself. That's why the pimp whore relationship is like husband and wife relationship. Mind you, the whore can be polyamorous, where the hoe is wanting to be selfish. The hoe wants you all to herself because she wants the spotlight. The hoe wants the attention. The whore wants the resources. The whore thinks, if I had another whore, then it'll be more resources for all of us. And that is one of the biggest differences. So when you look at the hoe and the whore, you can see that one is for attention driven, and then the other one's for resource gaining. So you always want to get you a whore. You never want to get you a hoe. See, a hoe is going to try to drain your pockets, because she wants she engages with you because she might think that other women find you attractive. So the whore is going to go, the hoe is going to go after the attractive man that other women want. So once the hoe gets you and finds you attractive because other women find you attractive, she'll put that notch on her belt saying, I'm the best out of all these hoes because I was able to grab you when all these hoes were looking to grab you. Now you're for me and exclusively for me. Where the whore is going to say, okay, what can you do for me? Not your looks, but your resources. What can you do now, and what will you be able to do in the future? The whore is looking for stability, because with stability comes security. The hoe is not looking for stability and security. The hoe is looking for experience and notoriety. So you have, let's say, the a millionaire, maybe let's say a basketball star, let's say a scammer. Two different men, right? The basketball star and the scammer, guy in the NBA, we'll go with him first. It's going to be a bunch of hoes out looking for him, right? Trying to tap in, right? The hoe is trying to be seen with him, trying to be pedestalized by him, because she feels like if he is here, once he puts me here, then I'm above it all, and then everyone will see my greatness because he was so great. And we've seen this in recent situations. You know, I'm not trying to, talk about anybody's family or whatever, but these type of things happen on the day-to-day. So the hoe is trying to be elevated by the statue of a man. So his statue is here, and she wants to be up here because she wants to be pedestalized by the man who's already on top, right? And then she also gets gratification because so many other hoes were after him. Now the whore, on the other end, she looks at the basketball guy and she's like, all right, you have resources, and I want those resources. I want them now and in the future. The whore is going to look to become a wife because whore and wife are the same. So the whore is looking to not just be a baby mama, but to be a wife. She wants to play the longest game. You know what I mean? So she's willing to do whatever it takes to maintain a relationship to ultimately turn out in her favor. So the whore is going to professionally manipulate. All women manipulate. This is something women do. It's a survival mechanism. The whore is going to professionally manipulate, saying, I could do this, I could do that, this doesn't bother me, I'm cool with that, I can be your rock, I could be, when you need me, blah, 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 XYZ. And she does everything she says she will because she's professional. So now, fast forward, the hoe and the basketball star, they might have a baby together. Sure enough. But the hoe is out of the picture. The hoe is now saying, all right, I got his son, daughter, whatever, and maybe I could transition this into another opportunity for me to be in the limelight. The horse, or the whore, is now in a position where she's the wife. She's had 2 or 3 of his kids, and she may or may not stay with him after he gets out of the league. But that's because the resources dry up. But she has made a balloon or a parachute package for herself. She's made a resource well for herself. As the money was coming in, she was tucking it away. Now, if she chooses to stay, she'll then reinvest that into her man or her husband at that point, to then sustain, to maybe obtain more resources, right? So, say for instance, somebody goes to, a notable rapper goes to jail. He gives his wife X amount of dollars. He comes back from jail. She has quadrupled the funds. Now he's more stable, and he's getting more of the bag now that he comes out, and now he's able to give her more resources than she was able to collect herself. So that's a whore multiplying, because women can multiply, but a whore is going to multiply for her man. A hoe is going to multiply for herself. She's selfish, right? All women have a selfishness about them, but a whore will act selfless for her man / husband pimp. Now, 2 scenarios. The other scenario was the scammer. The hoe's going to get with the scammer. The scammer's going to treat her to a good whole life. Hoe's going to think, oh, this is great times. Get pregnant by the scammer. Scammer goes to jail. The hoe is now in up shit's creek trying to get ends meet. The hoe don't know what to do. Hoe starts looking for opportunities wherever she can find them. So this is the hoe trying to transition into a whore after responsibility hits her. Because a hoe doesn't necessarily turn into a whore on accident. It's through conscious decision, you know what I mean? And responsibility being thrust upon a hoe could turn them into a whore. Because now she's thinking about obtaining resources, and she's more business minded about obtaining those resources and for her responsibility of parenting and what have you, right? Now, the whore gets with the scammer. The whore milks the scammer the same way the hoe did, but better, because she's professional. And the whore never has a child, because the whore is doing it professionally, where she is making sure that she doesn't get pregnant, whether it's a plan B in the morning, whether it's a suck dry, whether it might be in the first 90 days. Whatever it is, the whore's not keeping that baby or trying to get pregnant from somebody she sees as a temporary, where the hoe is thinking, this could be something that can catapult me, and not thinking that she needs to take care of her body. Now, we get to the body. A hoe is going to fluctuate. A hoe might get from bad to fat real quick. She might be a bad bitch and be a fat bitch, all in a given time of 3 to 5 years, because she was getting that attention. She was getting that the dinner dates, the breakfast sent over, all this shit right here. She was just consuming, eating, and she could get fat because she doesn't know her value is in her look, her face card, or her body resemblance or whatever. So the whore knows exactly where her bread is buttered. She knows that I have to obtain a certain look to get a certain clientele. I can't, because she knows that, because she's business minded, she knows that her value is going to decrease with her body, whether it's from too much sex, from overeating, not exercising, or being reckless with drugs and what have you. So she said she wants to now, a smart whore, right, is going to do that. Now, you do have some crack whores, and we're not talking about them. We're not talking, because a lot of times when you talk about a drug whore, she was a hoe that got with scammer / drug dealer, got hooked on the experience, and then got hooked on the substance, right? So she was a crack whore is a hoe that got hooked on a substance, not a whore that got in the game. So these are two different things, right? So this is me. I know I've been talking for about 30 minutes in this bitch, but this is a 304 is a hoe. A hoe is just wanting attention. The attention that a hoe gets and the experience that a hoe gets satisfies her. The whore wants resources. The resources that she gets will never satisfy her. She wants endless resources. You'll never be able to satisfy your wife with your resources. She always wants to get more resources and more resources and more resources. So she wants you to get another job. She wants you to look to get a raise or a new position, elevate, what have you. Now, this is also propelling her husband to do better. So it works as a catalyst for success, but also the whore's looking for her own money well, if you will, to obtain those resources. So these are the things that differentiate a hoe from a whore, a 304 from a working girl. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. If you didn't break it down like that, they ain't shit. Thank you for your time. You've been a great listening audience.